First, let's talk about statistics. In the U.S., suicide is the 10th leading cause of death. 1 in 12 attempted suicides happen every hour. Now in Wisconsin, the suicide rate is much lower than the national average, which is kind of great. But still, it's the 10th leading cause of death in this state as well. One person every 10 hours dies. So, I wanted to make a video, and I was really dead set on having it be about mental health. So, I got here in the classroom, set up lights, set up the camera, sat right here, and filmed a video. Well, I hated said video. It was really great, but for a different reason. It was more just of like one voice. I couldn't really edit to do things that I wanted to do. I couldn't really get the story out that I was trying to get out. So I went outside the campus and got to thinking about what in particular about mental health I wanted to talk about. And the first thing that came to my mind was suicide prevention. Not really sure why that was like the first thing on my mind, but I kind of ran with it. So I went around the community and I interviewed different people, just getting their input about what in the community is really out there to help those struggling with suicide ideation or any mental illness really. So here's what I got.
My name is Lindsay Wallace. I'm the Executive Director for the National Alliance on Mental Illness in Dane County.
My name is Dave Mahoney, M-A-H-O-N-E-Y, and I'm the Sheriff in Dane County. I'm the elected Sheriff. I oversee a 600-person department, and the largest responsibility that I have is our jail. We have a 1,013-bed jail.
So NAMI provides education, support, and advocacy for people who are affected by mental illness, and certainly suicide and suicide ideation play a role for people who are struggling at any point in time. So there's a few things that we do. We walk hand in hand with individuals, family members who need assistance in navigating the mental health care system, getting them connected to resources that can lessen the acuity of their symptoms. And then we also partner with Safe Communities, who provides a question, persuade, refer training at our crisis intervention training for police officers, and that's really giving people the tools and the skills that they need to de-escalate a crisis situation and connect somebody to mental health resources.
So I spoke with someone over at the National Alliance for Mental Illness, and they mentioned that you all are involved in the protocol when they get calls and things like that for people who, might be experiencing some suicidal ideation and things like that. So what do you guys do? Like, what's the protocol for a phone call to say, hey, I'm with someone, I think they may be suicidal. What do we do?
Well, we work very closely with NAMI Dane County on our protocol for crisis intervention training, CIT. And so we have CIT trained deputies who respond to incidents both in the community but also within our jail for individuals who may be prone to or likely to engage in self-harm. Mm-hmm. And because of that training, we can de-escalate situations very often to prevent the use of force and bring a successful resolution to those incidents, whether on the road, in our communities, or even within our jail.
Yeah. So what does that training look like for someone who wants to be, is it CIT, you said?
CIT, Crisis Intervention Training. And one of the unique perspectives of that training is members of the community who suffer from mental illness actually come in as our students that we interact with. And so we're interacting with people not who are acting based upon their beliefs in situations, but actually using scenarios with individuals who themselves went through these these episodes
Right.
and can relate firsthand to law enforcement officers.
So you talked a little bit about ideation, and I know that's a word that's used a lot in the mental health community, but for someone who doesn't know, like me, I was like, what is this magical word?
Yeah.
Can you explain like what that really means?
Yeah, suicidal ideation is just when you don't have a concrete plan of how you want to hurt yourself, but you are contemplating what it might be like, or you're just feeling like you're alone and you'd be better off without being in the world, and the world would be better off without you. So it's just kind of thinking through it, but you're not putting a plan into
What can
action.
we do to kind of help people who are struggling with suicidal ideation?
We need to have a conversation with people in our community and in our families and be aware that when individuals are suffering, whether it be from depression or some other diagnosis related to mental illness, that we're reaching out for those resources to prevent a bad incident from getting worse.
Right.
Hey, you.
All right.
I know you're thinking about quitting. I know you're thinking about giving up. But please don't do it. I need you. I need your smile. I need your thoughts. I need your personality. I can't do it without you. Please don't go.